The mom being called the queen of the internet for this. Shattering records, making more than 100 million people laugh along with her. Now look who's on her way to Times Square.
I'm going to be on Good Morning America.
You'll meet her live only on GMA.
Hey folks, this is Lawrence with a quick video on Chewbacca. And the reason why I wanted to do this video right now is because there's this lady that put on this Chewbacca mask, and she got on Facebook. Now she's on Good Morning America, so I think the time's right to go ahead and address this. And I also did make a video on Star Wars earlier, and Carrie Fisher and what something that she had done on HBO, I believe it was, and the symbology of that event as well. And I wanted to do more Star Wars stuff. It's been on my mind, so I guess it's time to approach Chewbacca. So, okay, first of all, Chewbacca is a 7-foot Wookie in the Star Wars franchise. He's from the first, what should have been the last three, not even the last three. So confusing with Star Wars, okay? So basically, from episode 4 to episode 6 is where Chewbacca was best known from, beginning at Star Wars for A New Hope. Okay, so anyway, he's a 7-foot Wookiee, and he's kind of stuffed in the back because the other characters are pretty dynamic. So you got Darth Vader, you got Luke Skywalker, and you got Han Solo, who can steal a lot of the thunder from the other characters. But I'll go ahead and explain to you what Chewbacca symbolizes. So, believe it or not, I'm going to prove to you. I don't know if you'll believe it. I don't know that your denial will kick it out or whatever, but I could prove to you that he is the character of Jesus. So let that sink in. Chewbacca is Jesus. All right. So when I first started realizing that there's a lot of symbology in a lot of these movies, I started looking at the Star Wars, and Star Wars has some symbology, some religious tones, some things hinting about DNA and many different things. But I couldn't really pin Chewbacca. And I knew that he was important. I didn't know. I was staring at him like, what is it about Chewbacca? What is it about Chewbacca? So then I started seeing a lot of Walking Dead or some other characters that had a crossbow. A crossbow. So he's carrying a cross. He's running around in this movie carrying a crossbow. So what? What would it even matter that he's carrying a crossbow? Well, significance of Chewbacca and why it really stands out like a sore thumb is that crossbows serve a purpose when there's bow and arrows. It's a bow and arrow built into a gun. But when you're talking about lasers, it serves zero purpose. You would not have a bow on a laser gun. And I used to, when I was growing up, I loved Star Wars. I was looking at it and I go, boy, they're kind of desperate to come up with concepts, so they have this crossbow. It was embedded symbolism. So he's running around, 7-foot tall Wookiee, which 7 is the number of perfection, the number of God. If man is 6, then God is 7. If man is 666, or if the beast is 666, then God is 7. So he's the beast. He's a big, hairy beast. He's the beast from Beauty and the Beast. He's before the 7, becoming the 7. He's 6 becoming 7. Hopefully that makes sense. So you're thinking, okay, that's a stretch. That just because he has a crossbow, that does not mean that he's Jesus. So hang on for a minute. We're almost done here. So as you're watching this Star Wars movie, you're watching it, and they're running around the hallways. Harrison Ford keeps on yelling, Chewie, go to the ship, Chewie, blast him, whatever it is that he's telling him to do, but he's calling him Chewie. What is the word Chewie? What is the meaning? Well, in California, when you work side by side with Latinos, you will find out very quickly that Chewy is the slang name for the name Jesus. Jesus is just another rendition of the word Jesus. It's the Latin or Spanish pronunciation of Jesus. So Jesus equals Chewy. Jesus equals Chewy. That's just what it means. It's a slang word, but that's what it means. So now he's carrying a crossbow, and his first name or his slang name is Jesus. So now you got Chewy or Chewbacca. Baka means brother. So it's Chewbacca, or it's the brother of Jesus or brother Jesus. Either way, it's all symbology, so don't take it seriously like, okay, they're trying to make Jesus a monster. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we're in really unique times, and they're embedding this stuff in the movies. They're trying to wake you up and say, look, something's coming. Here comes something. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for the return of Jesus? Now that you're ready, do you know that it's a human being, or is it something that's going to come to mankind? What is it? What is Jesus? Who is Jesus? Right? That's what this is about. So you could say, okay, so somehow his name is Jesus. Somehow he carries a crossbow. Jesus carries his cross. So what? It's still coincidence, okay? I will prove to you that Chewie is Jesus. The reason why is, look at it. Not only do lasers not have bows, you don't need to carry magazines for them like a rifle. The reason for a magazine is you've got these bullets. So you put the magazine in there, off your bandolier, off of whatever your source is for the bullets. You pull the magazine out. Magazine is what loads into the bottom of a machine gun, by the way. So you slam it in there, you lock it in, and you got 30 bullets, 20 bullets, and then the magazine unloads. Well, in sci-fi world, lasers are electrically charged. You wouldn't need magazines. So now you've got this useless bow and arrow, or useless crossbow, and you got useless bandoliers that he's wearing for bullets. So what they're doing is they're hinting at that Chewie is Mexican. It's a stereotype of the Mexican with the bandoliers around his waist, or not his waist, but his shoulder, hanging off his shoulder. It's a stereotype of what people consider a Mexican to look like. That's exactly what's going on here. So Chewie is Jesus. They're saying, okay, reference the Mexican stereotype. Chewie, Jesus, right? Carrying the cross. It's Jesus carrying his cross. That's who Chewie is. So why would he be a monster? Why would he be a big hairy beast? Again, it's because he's the beast before he gets to become the beauty. The beauty kisses the beast, and he ascends. He becomes something different than who he is. He goes from 6 to 7, just like the story of Beauty and the Beast. That's what this is about. That's what all of it is always about. So if you're wondering why the Illuminati's out to get us, if you're wondering why government is folding, why the job market is terrible, why all our jobs are being shipped overseas, why there's things going on behind closed doors, nothing's working, nothing's working, nothing's working. It's because we're entering the age of the Christ consciousness, the return of Jesus. What that means to you, you go ahead and figure that out. God bless you. You go ahead and figure it out, decode it on your own. Jesus has to be a human being. He can't be anything else. That's fine. I'm just telling you what this particular symbology is. So hopefully you find that useful. It's funny and probably even hard to grasp. I'm laughing my head off looking at this lady with the Chewbacca mask. And she finds her joy from very simple things, which is kind of like a Christ-like attribute, you know? Jesus didn't need a Mercedes-Benz to be happy. He walked around in robes. He didn't even have a place to lay his head. So he would have to find his pleasure in life out of life itself, not the items of life that make us happy. It's the relationships. It's the breathing in the air. It's, just very simple things. And that's what's making everyone laugh at this video. She's so into the simple things of life that can make you happy and make you laugh. So that's the symbology of it. That's why it's being pushed. That's why that video went viral. It's not because in the sea of baby cat videos, baby videos, people doing weird things, this one made it all the way to the top, and this is the #1 video of all time here. This is why, because they're trying to say Christ. They're trying to say Jesus. So Jesus is on the way, whether or not you know it. Whether or not your Jesus is a different kind of Jesus, you need to define that for yourself. But I'm telling you, that's what they're saying. Okay, anyway, this is Lawrence. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
The mom being called the queen of the internet for this. Shattering records, making more than 100 million people laugh along with her. Now look who's on her way to Times Square.
I'm going to be on Good Morning America.
You'll meet her live only on GMA.